I welcome, saints. Today I'm looking at Ezekiel. Ezekiel, was a prophet during the exile when Judah was in Babylon. And Ezekiel is prophesying against those false prophets back in Jerusalem, how they're preaching peace and safety when God had sent them into captivity. But through it, there in chapter 11 and later toward the end of the book, he's announcing that he will restore his people to them. The only reason why God's wrath is being poured out is because of the false idol worship, that they're not recognizing God and his care for them. They're moving away from the covenant, not into it. And so his wrath is poured out. But he says there in verse 17, therefore I say, that's in chapter 11, it says, therefore say, thus says the Lord God, I will gather you from the peoples, assemble you from the country where you have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. They will go there, and they will take away all its detestable things and all of its abominations from there. And then I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within them, and take the stony heart out of their flesh, and give them a heart of flesh, so that they may walk in my statutes, and keep my judgments, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. Notice how he ends with the covenant statement. They will be his people, and I will be their God. That's the covenant statement that unites us in the family of God. God is angry with them, but he plans to restore them. He doesn't always want to be angry. In chapter 17, he talks about the restoration of them. And chapter 16, beginning in verse 60, he says, nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with you in the days of your youth, and I will establish an everlasting covenant with you. Then you will remember your ways and be ashamed when you receive your older and your younger sisters, for I will give them to you for daughters, but not because of my covenant with you. And I will establish my covenant with you, and then you shall know that I am the Lord. That you may remember and be ashamed and never open your mouth any more because of your shame, when I provide you an atonement for all you have done, says the Lord God. While we continue to rebel against God, he may come in and correct us, but he's always looking to reestablish that covenant with us. And that takes us all the way through the Bible. There in Revelation chapter 21, when the new earth has been formed and the new city comes down, he then says to the people that I will dwell with you. And then he repeats the last covenant statement, where he will be their God, they will be his people. And that will be the covenant that will be eternal. God is working all along to unite with his people in the form of covenant. And even in the midst of trial and tribulation, he is there to eventually restore the covenant because he loves us.